Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers Art Rooney 2 breaks silence on Mike Tomlin's job security. Fan approval of Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin may have never been lower than it is right now. But Tomlin continues to receive support from Steelers owner Art Rooney 2. Rooney expressed his approval of Tomlin while meeting with reporters on January 27. Rooney explained that Tomlin's prior success gives him confidence that he should remain the Steelers' head coach. "I think when you look at how many games Mike, Tomlin, has won in this league, you don't win that many games if you're not a good coach," Rooney said, via Steelers Depot. "And I know he's frustrated like we all are in terms of not being able to take that next step, but we still feel good about him being the leader and still think he has the strengths that he always had in terms of being able to lead a team." So, the other side of the coin is, when you look at the fact that we have 6, 7, 8 teams a year that turn their coaches over, it's when you have a good coach, you just try to keep building with them. Tomlin has amassed an 183-107-2 regular season record as Steelers head coach. He's famously never suffered a losing season in 18 years. With 11 more victories, Tomlin will move past Chuck Noll as winningest head coach in Steelers history. But Tomlin has lost 6 straight postseason games to fall to 8-12 in the playoffs. Noll went 16-8 in the postseason as Steelers head coach. Tomlin's predecessor, Bill Cowher, was 12-9 in the playoffs. No team has more Super Bowl victories than the Steelers. But Pittsburgh is arguably more well known for their continuity at head coach. The Steelers have had 3 head coaches in the last 56 seasons. Tomlin is the longest tenured head coach in the NFL, having just completed his 18th season. Rooney hinted on January 27 about that continuity being a factor in keeping Tomlin despite his lack of recent playoff success. "When you got a good coach, you try to keep him in place," Rooney said, via the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac. "When I talk to the players, they still want to play for Mike." Tomlin's job status has come into question the past 2 Decembers because of losing streaks. In December 2023, the Steelers dropped 3 straight but then won their final 3 games to finish 10-7 and earn a playoff berth. The Steelers started the 2024 campaign 10-3. But they again finished 10-7 after a 4-game skid to end the regular season. The Steelers then suffered an embarrassing 28-14 loss to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC wild card round. Pittsburgh hasn't won a playoff game since January 2017. That 8-year drought is the longest the organization has gone without a postseason victory since the team's first playoff win in 1972. Tomlin stressed that there would likely be significant changes with the franchise this offseason. But Tomlin didn't specify where those changes would occur. Rooney seemed to suggest on January 27 that if the Steelers do make significant changes this offseason, it won't be with the coaching staff. "I don't expect wholesale changes, but I think there are going to be a couple changes," said Rooney. The Steelers owner added that the team is still in the process of evaluating the coaches that are under contract for 2025. Dulac wrote that includes offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, defensive coordinator Terrell Austin and offensive line coach Pat Meyer. All 3 received criticism from fans during the team's 5-game losing streak to end the season. Pittsburgh Steelers won't trade TJ Watt, Art Rooney says. The Pittsburgh Steelers do not plan to trade star outside linebacker TJ Watt. Team president Art Rooney too stated the team has no plans to move their star edge rusher after being asked by KDKA's Bob Pompiani. Watt, who is entering the last year of his contract, is likely be extended by the Steelers. "I'd have to put it in the unlikely category. He's certainly been one of the real, solid pieces we have on that defense. I think he's the kind of guy we want to have in the locker room going forward," Rooney said. Watt had a down year for his career, racking up 11.5 sacks but cratering during the final month of the season. While he dealt with injuries, Watt's productivity dipping is a significant reason he is no longer the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. After the season, he vowed to make changes that included moving around the formation and adding new strategies to his game. Rooney added they would like to extend Watt. I think that's something we want to look at this offseason. TJ has been, one of the foundations of the defense for, quite a number of years now, and certainly hope we can have TJ here for the future beyond this year, Rooney said. Watt will be a free agent after the 2025 season but will likely be set up with an extension this year if these comments say anything. When that comes to pass, Watt's new game will take shape, and that is something the Steelers will need to see in order for him to maintain his elite level of play as he enters his 30s. Former Broncos QB Russell Wilson on notice amid Steelers plan. The Denver Broncos do not have the quarterback questions that some of their rivals do, and that is thanks to their decision to jettison Russell Wilson and usher in the Bo Nix era during the 2024 offseason. After a career renaissance with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2024, however, Wilson again finds himself facing career uncertainty. Steelers chairman Art Rooney too had said they would choose between Wilson and Justin Fields. I think they're both capable quarterbacks and my preference would be to sign one of them, so that'll be the priority and I think that will give us the best opportunity to move forward, Rooney said, per ESPN's Brooke Pryor on January 27. Wilson, 36, spoke openly about wanting to return to Pittsburgh next season. He revealed preliminary contract talks with the Steelers during an appearance on the Pat McAfee Show. Rooney would not rule out Fields, 25, and Wilson both returning next season. But he also cited their desire to both be starters. I wouldn't close the door but I'd say it's probably unlikely both QBs return for 2025, Rooney said, per Pryor. I think both of them see themselves as starters and I don't know that they want to share the same job again next year. Russell Wilson, number 3 of the Pittsburgh Steelers, is introduced before a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Wilson completed 63.7% of his passes for 2,482 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions in 11 games. He went 6-5 as the Steelers starter. However, they lost 5 games to end the regular season and were eliminated by the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC wild card. Rooney said addressing the quarterback situation is a priority for the Steelers. After the coaching staff is in place, the priority will be the QB position, Rooney said, per Steelers.com's Bob Labriola on January 27. We have some decisions to make there, and I thought both Russ and Justin showed promise in certain stretches, and I think they're both capable of being starters. QB position is a key piece of the puzzle that needs to be addressed, Rooney said, per Labriola. Wilson signed a 1-year, $1.2 million contract with the Steelers in free agency after the Broncos cut him in year 1 of a 5-year, $245 million contract. A 9-time Pro Bowler, all with the Seattle Seahawks, Wilson could have a 4th team in 4 years. The Broncos incurred an $85 million dead cap hit, absorbing $53 million of it last offseason. There is another $32 million on the Broncos' books for 2025. They will not receive a compensatory pick for Wilson either, because he was cut rather than his contract expiring. September 24, head coach Sean Payton of the Denver Broncos talks to Russell Wilson, number 3 of the Denver Broncos, prior to a game against the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium on September 24, 2023 in Miami Gardens, Florida. Photo by Megan Briggs/Getty Images. Wilson and Broncos head coach Sean Payton did not mesh well while paired together. An intense exchange on the sideline serves as a microcosm of the relationship in terms of football. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Russell Wilson? Leave your opinion in the comments.